welcome to Men's Week. When you gonna do some content about the men? When you gonna do content for the men? Oh, you asked for it, you got it. Toyota. It's Men's Week. And in Men's Week, we do content strictly directed at the men, for the men, man stuff. First off, do me a favor. Before we get started, I need everybody to put their age, city, and sex. Age, city, and sex. Age, city, and sex in the chat room. This is going to be a very interactive show because I want to get down to some nitty gritty brass tacks of stuff. We are taking up the first collection. This ain't, I ain't gonna use Japs Church. Pay your tuition. Pay your tuition. Guys, what do you rank? Yeah, these are Dita. You're damn right, they're Dita. These are Dita and these are Jock Mirage. What do you rank? What do you rank around other males? Of the half of the population, where do you rank? And when was the last time you checked your ranking? See, hold up. I know right there that a lot of you guys are like, well, I don't know where I rank. I feel like I'm pretty good. Or I feel like, you intuitively, a lot of dudes kind of think they know. But that's the problem. Okay, Devlin, okay. Healthy, okay. So for the guys who say they're lower at the bottom, this is gonna hurt. This stream is gonna hurt. But think of it as hurting like, getting your a broken bone set. Ooh, love that Nasamato Pardon has been killing the game today. Here's the thing. Most men stopped finding out where they ranked in high school. In education has been the last time a lot of dudes, we all had to go through a process. See, some people played sports, some people didn't play sports, but everybody went to school. And in school, we had rankings. You ranked at a certain place in your class, and you also had your grades. So we determined who was better than anybody else based upon grades. In sports, you do it by the score. But men, we always seek ranking. But if the last time you actually kept your rank, it was in high school, I'm gonna tell you this: you are behind. I can tell you that for almost a 100% fact. If you stop keeping score where you ranked when you graduated high school, your eye is off the ball. See, just like you'll rarely find, I'm not gonna say never, but just like you'll rarely find a beautiful woman sitting on YouTube in a chat on somebody's comment section with just an avatar or a nameless badge or an initial. Beautiful women like to be seen. And men, we like to compete. See, a lot of times, guys, what we do is you stop looking at your ranking because you at the bottom. Not even hedge in the bottom. You in the lower 25 or 10 to 25%. And we got to do something about it. So, before we get into it, let me say, if you watch my broadcast, in a state of nature, when you move all this stuff away, the modern conveniences, the internet and all this other kind of stuff, when we're just in a state of nature, like some Walking Dead type shit, how do we keep score among men? Fighting and fucking. That's how we keep score. We war and we have women. So, especially if you're not competing for women, you're out of that side of the game. So you got to look at your life from a resource. So here's what it is. It doesn't matter if you're IPMOR, MGTOW, Red Pill, whatever. This is going to be relevant because, dude, the competitive men, You can see them. They're here on YouTube. Competitive men tend to be out there in front. A lot of you non-competitive dudes tend to call yourself introverts. Introvert is a lot of the guys say to soften the blow is saying I'm just not competing. So let's go on some basic stuff. Let's go on some stuff. Yeah, Kyle was right. It was easy to gauge your rank when you were younger in high school. What determines your rank? Glad you asked. What determines your rank? You can look at your image, which amounts to your style, your appearance, behavior, communication, digital footprint. But you can really look at the way you look, your looks, which is your appearance. That is one part of your rank. You know whether or not you're a good-looking dude or not, classically handsome or not. You know if you're fat. You know if you're short. You know if you're bald-headed. You know if you're ugly. Come on, man. It's easy to pick out the competitive dudes because the competitive dudes, they're not all good looking. They're not all tall and muscular and ripped. It's an attitude. So you can't sit back and say, well, I'm not competitive because I'm short and ugly. No, there are plenty of short, ugly dudes out there competing and winning. Look at CeeLo. Hey, man, I'm going to pull it out. Like I said, it's going to hurt because I got to jar a lot of you guys into reality. And the reason you're not in reality is because a lot of you guys are just lackadaisical, apathetic, and lack hope because there's nothing to compete for. So we got to look at your looks. And yes, you can do something about your looks or appearance. If you go to Donovan Sharp's Facebook page, you'll see the 312-pound Donovan Sharp and then the 220 pounds of twisted steel Donovan Sharp day. He did it. You can too. All right. Then you have to start looking at your material possessions, like your home, your apartment, your condo, your car, that kind of stuff. This is where if you're driving foreign versus domestic, if you're living now, New York City, homes don't really, you know what it means. When I lived in New York City, I lived in a high-rise building with a doorman, a gym, a laundry, and parking. I was a baller and didn't know it, but that was my standard. I expected to live that way. I didn't live out in Hoboken and commuted. I paid the cost, and I found a way to make that money. Because just like me and Brother Nagone talk about, winning in power is an attitude. So you look at your looks and then your surroundings. Having your shit together makes a big difference. Yeah, you got to do that. But see, if you're introverted, that means you're going to have to work hard. And I'm not going to make it easy. I'm going to make it hard on you guys tonight, so let's get into it. Let's start with one thing that every man has to use to keep score: money. See, the reason is there are no real standards out there for guys, so it's easy to fly under the radar and not be judged. But I'm going to tell you, whether or not you are earning and making the kind of money you should be making for your age. Let me tell you right here, I've counseled too many guys who are in their 30s and 40s, and they're behind this scheme. So what you need to do is, we're starting from age 18 years old. You're out of high school. You can go to the military. At this age, you need to be making for the CIA scale. This is the bare minimum to be at the normal rank. At the normal rank, average, everyday dude. This is my scale. This is my scale for just average, everyday dude. To be right there in the sweet part of the bell curve. For every year, you need to be making 1.5. You need to be making $1,500 per year. So let's say you're 18 years old, or let's say you're 21 years old. 21 years old. How much money do you need to be making at 21 years old to be right there in the sweet spot? Multiply 21 times 1.5. Hold on. Let's say 25 years old. 25. Damn it. 25. 25 years old,
What if,
$37,500.
when I do wear a suit, older white women approach/compliment me?
What do I do if I wear a suit? Older white women approach and compliment you? Take the compliment and enjoy it. I mean, you say older white women, but that just means they're putting you in a position of respect. A suit is to command respect and also make you look more mature than your counterparts. That's why suits look out of place on teenage boys, but look in place on men in their 30s. That's why dudes in their 30s walking around wearing sweats and Jordans look out of place. But I'll get back to that either. So my scale is this: $1,500 per year. So if you graduated from high school and didn't go to college, you need to get out and your goal needs to be right here. So at 18, what is 1.5 times, what is $1,500 per year? At 18, $27,000 a year. What is $27,000 a year? That's roughly $13.50 an hour. You know what that is? That is a job at 7-Eleven. You can get a job at 7-Eleven, On Q, Quick Trip, the Quickie Mart, anywhere for $13.50 an hour. So with a high school diploma and zero skills, you can make $27,000 a year. You can go stock shelves at Walmart, clean toilets, $13.50 an hour. And that is where you start from at 18. And every year you need to make $1,500 more for a year. So if 19 years old and you ain't making $1,500 more and you only working one job, get your ass back out there, because you need to be working 60 hours per week minimum. So even if you get, and I'm giving you a 40-hour work week. So if you don't have a $13.50 an hour job, you got a minimum wage job, guess what? That means you're going to have to go work at Subway and McDonald's. But you got to get that bread up. You got to get that bread up. You say you're 26 and with 90,000. Cool. Put a period there. You're ahead of the game. But are you behind in other places? See, first we got to look at income. And I'm going to tell you, the benchmarks, the years where you need to really evaluate are 18, 21, 25, 30, 35, 40, and 50. Let's say right now I'm about to hurt somebody. I'm about to hurt you. If you are 40 years old and if you are 30 years old, if you are 30 years old and you are not earning $45,000 a year, I'm not talking about New York City. I'm talking about in the heartland of America, Oklahoma, Texas, Iowa, Idaho, where the cost of living is average. $45,000 a year at 30. You are behind the game. Breathe. Breathe, 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 breathe. What I just did is I gave you a reality check. Because when you get out there and you go to the local bar, pub, Buffalo Wild Wings, whatever, and you in there with the sexy senoritas and all these fine, you out there with other men, this is how you're going to be judged. You're going to be ranked. The reason you can't pull a higher value woman is because your pockets is on empty. The reason your confidence sucks is because you ain't making enough money. You feel fucked up because you ain't making what you should make. And I'm going to say it. Plenty of good dudes are sitting on life at below average, content, because it's like you walking around and no one knows, but it's like you walking around. You ever see somebody walk around and knock off stuff? People who walk around and knock off stuff are terrified of somebody finding out they're walking around in knockoffs. But a dude that's living life below walks around terrified that somebody gonna find him out. Ooh, shit, I got messed up credit. That can be fixed. But when you are sitting around at 30 years old and you making $25,000, your goal needs to be straightened up. So look, So do the math and ask yourself a question right here. Pull out your calculator, ask yourself, at my age, am I making the amount of money I should be making? This is minimum. This is minimum. So let's just say at 40 years old. At 40, that means you need to be making 60. At 50, you need to be making 75. That's the minimum. That means to have a CIA caliber life. That means you'll be able to actually do shit, go places, do things. You're not just working and robbing Peter to pay Paul. If you decide you want to date, you can actually date. Shout out to AMS. Like he said, go out on a cheap date when you're initially meeting some chick, but man, you don't want to go out to Burger King when you with somebody who's in your rotation. Do quality of life. You want to go out and have a nice steak dinner. You want to eat some lobster from time to time. You want to go on vacation. And I'm going to tell you, I have met too many men in the last 6 months who 35, 37 years old, never wore a suit, never owned a suit. Let me say this again. Never wore a suit. Last suit they wore was at prom. How do you get to a life of being 37 or almost 40 years old and you've never worn a suit? Remember what I say, if you don't live a life that's broad enough that requires you to wear a suit from time to time, you need a broader life. But you can do that if you're living life below. And see, the thing is, there's so many guys out there that live in life below, and they'll get in these comment sections and they'll start talking about women and the society and everything else. And you thinking, oh yeah, they around, they're here with us, and they're way down here. See, this is gonna hurt. See, if you're way down here on your earnings, you ain't got time to talk about no politics, no bitches, no nothing. Your ass need to go to work. Zero excuses. 30-plus-year-old dudes that never wore a suit. That's a problem.
Don't be mad when these women start choosing, because they are choosing based on rank.
Yeah, they are choosing based on rank. So let's understand something. If you are behind on income, and you're not working 60 hours plus, no one wants to hear your problems. There are no excuses. And that's what I mean. If you're living behind, even if you cannot quantify it, there is something that comes along. But I use the money thing because you can immediately see, this is where I am. Let's say you're 30 years old and you're not making 45. Let's say you're 30 years old and you're making $30,000. That means you need to get up in the morning and start living life with a sense of urgency. You need to start running your life like you are losing, because you are. Running, you cannot walk. You cannot even speak well. You need to start running. And understand something. The first thing is you need to be working 60 plus hours a week. Let me say that again. If you're behind, you cannot just work 60 hours a week. You need to be working closer to 80. Yeah, that's right. That's right, dude. You need to lose some goddamn sleep and get out there and bust 2 full-time jobs to get your money up. Because until you get your money up, you cannot lead an adult male life. Not a happy one. You can live a ratchet one. You can date some lower caliber females, 2s, 3s, and 4s. You're going to have a life of ratchets and fast food. And honestly, good dudes, but it's hard for you to, it is going to be impossible for you to do what you need to do to catch up. Because we talk about self-improvement. Here's where the rubber meets the road. You cannot hire a personal trainer, nutritionist, life coach, image consultant, any of these things, because you don't make enough money. If you can barely pay your bills, you need another source of income. I've hammered this, but this is what you got to do. You got to start working. I already said, if you're 40 and under, single, no kids, and you're not working 60 hours plus a week, you're lazy. But if you're behind financially, you need to be working closer to 80. Yeah, that's 16-hour days. That means you all you do is sleep and work, sleep and work, sleep and work. And let me tell you what this means. You need to go into overdrive. Zero excuses. No women, no dating, jack off. No pussy chasing, no none of that. Put yourself in jail for at least a year to get your mind right. What the fuck you out here at the bar having a beer looking at the football game? Dude, you broke. You're not going to be able to, you're only in these rooms and stuff, and you're living a lie. That's why a lot of guys are depressed. So what you do is you kick life into overdrive and take the money, the additional money you make, and you need to double down on self-improvement. That means if you've been able to get by on your one job, the next job, you need to go get a psych eval, find out what's holding you back, get a life coach. If you're out of shape, overweight, all this other thing, get a personal trainer, take your second job and use it to start improving your life. Because when you start looking and liking who you see, you'll do better. You got a question, if you have a question and you want me to read it, you got to put it in the super chat or hit that link. What's going on, Nagone? So, what happened to Derek Wright? If you type in all caps, man, the bot will time you out. The bot will time you out. So, guys, I'm going to take a break here because I need you to digest what I just said. It is hella hard for you as a man to come into a room with Donovan, Nagone, myself, any CIA man who's on his purpose, and know your pockets is on short. When we talk about, yeah, man, we're gonna go over to the spot, and then we're gonna go have a couple of drinks, and you know you ain't got nothing but $20 in your pocket, and we say, okay, this round is on me, and you know you cannot buy a round. So if you've had to live a life of going to the bathroom when the round of drinks are bought, or even worse, you're not around people like that. It's always, I buy my stuff, you buy your stuff. Dude, you're dying on the inside every day because you don't go nowhere and do nothing because you know you don't want nobody to find out that you've been living below. That's real talk. You feel bad. So it's like, I'm going to just go to work and go home. But see, what you're doing is beating yourself up. What you're doing is you're living life in jail. Better to say, you know what? I'm going to go out and work. Because at least you'll get the sense of satisfaction of going to bed exhausted, but your money is coming in. You need to go into life overdrive. Overdrive on the self-improvement. Zero excuses. No women. Zero. And then the highest levels of accountability. Shout out to Obsidian Media Network. When he says he wants the scraggle daggle to confess, you need to confess too. You need to confess to your friends. I am a fuck up. Dude, I'm 35 years old and I'm still living life like a teenager. My wardrobe is like a teenager. My income is like a teenager. I date like I'm dating a teenager guy. Matter of fact, if I lost the job I have right now, there's no way I'd be able to go out and get another job making this much money because I have no skills. I've been living life like a teenage boy. And I'm going to tell you, I know dudes out there, good dudes. Like I said, guys, not even brother. Men haven't worn a suit since high school. Don't own one. What's in your closet? Nothing. I'm like, how do you get to life? And it's not even just a matter of income. Some dudes actually make enough money to afford all these things, but they don't live a life like it. I'm like, so it's one thing to not have the money, but if you do have the money and your wardrobe and your appearance still looks like a boy, you're still a boy. You may have more money than the first guy, so you feel like, I'm better than that. Okay, but what are you doing in your life? if you're living a life to where you are not exposed to anything that you wouldn't have been exposed to as a teenage boy, Houston, we have a problem. You have to get really clear on what should let's just say a 30-year-old man. A 30-year-old man and a 21-year-old man should be living two different lives. The 21-year-old man needs to be out there chasing it. You know, I would expect the 18 to 21-year-old to be at spring break, college parties, drinking, chasing skirts, you know, hitting the gym heavy, you know, but at 30, I would expect that to be way out of your system. You still go out, but you're not going to the, you know, coin beer night places. You're not going to the, you know, the 18 and up clubs. You're at least going to the 25 and up clubs if you're still going out. But you at 30, you should be out of that clubbing phase. You should be going to lounges and things like that, because you will be the old fucking man in the club. And at 35, this stuff should really be out of your system. At 40, the only time you end up going to a club like that I just referred to is if you happen to go back home for the holidays and you meet some friends out. 40-year-olds in the 21 and up club is a pervert. You're lame and a loser. Again, big brother, uncle. I shouldn't have to, I'm saying stuff that you already know is right. So if it's fucking with you, it's what you already know is right. So the highest levels of accountability. You're going to have to confess to some folks around you. I'm living life on foul. Today, many men have a problem with power or lacking power. Today, a lot of guys don't even think in the concepts of power, the terms of power. And I am not going to deal with how we got where we are, whose French toast fault it is. I'm going to deal with the fact that it is absent. Far too many men today are thinking like sheep. Thinking like it or not, I'm going to use this term, like you're going to be a drone, a worker bee all your life. And go back 500 years ago, and a man had a profession. He specialized, he focused on something. If he was the blacksmith, the carpenter, the thatcher, the something, he had a profession. And today you've got jobs. And that's the way this country economy is structured. But here's the thing. In order to have power as a man, you're going to, in order to really exert what you're going to need to become confident, intelligent, and assertive, you're going to have power. And power does not come from money first. Now, I know we got the whole line of Scarface. First you get the money, then you get the power, then you get the women. That is a path. But you have to have the mindset to get money before you can get money. Money does not come to everybody. That's why being a high value man, like it or not, is greatly determined upon your income. If 90% of people could do it, it wouldn't be that high value now, would it? Power. How many of you guys are thinking about power? And the first thing I want to talk about is having a martial mind. A martial mind, a warrior spirit. A martial mind meaning so many guys today, you're a bunch of pussies. You're a bunch of pussies. When was the last time you actually physically had a fight? A physical one-on-one fight where you had to square up with another man and put your jaw on the line. And sadly, the way the world works today, so many men don't even physically know how to fight. Meaning, do you have any kind of martial training? Boxing, judo, taekwondo, shotokan, aikido, kung fu, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, jeet kune do, wing chun. You know, MMA is new. Shout out to MMA. But guys, I'm going to tell you the first thing, having a martial mind, if you can't take care of yourself, why do you even become a high value man? Why do you want all these things out of life if you can't protect it? I was talking to my lady friend and I was like, look here, no matter where we're at, if somebody were to reach out and touch you, the first thing you would do is you would expect me to address it. You wouldn't expect me to be like, security, or hey guy, let's negotiate. You'd be expecting me to go in his jaw. And guys, if you're not capable of doing this, Whether you should do it or not is not the point. A man who has a martial mind has a level of confidence that most men don't. Most men got to run to go get a gun, knife, or something. If you don't have a martial mind, it is time for you to take this time to start developing this. No different than getting in the gym and getting your body right, getting your mind right. You need to learn how to combat. You need to learn how to physically fight. And I mean physically fight beyond a green belt level. I mean fight. You need to become proficient. I think every guy needs to have at least a brown belt level of proficiency in something. I'm not going to say everybody needs to have black belt level, but brown belt is above average. That means against an untrained fighter, you can stand your own and walk away from 90% of your altercations. See, many times guys are like, I wish I had your confidence. I wish I had this. I wish I had that. Because a man who has a martial mind, a man who knows he knows how to take care of himself, carries himself in a different way. You don't have to talk a bunch of shit. You don't have to sell a bunch of wolf tickets. You can be quiet. You can let people say anything they want to about you as long as they don't touch you. If they touch you, you make sure they don't touch anything else for a long time. A martial mind. There used to be a part of becoming a man, a gentleman. You actually had to have a standard education, a classical education, meaning you learned your Shakespeare, your philosophy, your art history, things like that. You also had to become proficient in some sort of munition, some sort of weapon, whether it was learning how to shoot, bow and arrow, sword, staff, something. And then the ultimate is when you've become disarmed, you run out of ammunition, these. 3, I suggest brown belt in at least one thing, but I would tell you, deciding to start learning martial arts in my teens was one of the best decisions I ever made. I was a skinny kid. I was a pretty boy. I had long curly hair, long eyelashes, and a lot of the guys hated it. Their girlfriends thought I was cute. So I had to hear this shit all my life. But guarantee you one thing, they didn't bother me because it got around town that you mess with Kevin, he gonna break something. The guy don't start fights, but he damn sure ends them. So y'all can laugh at my high school pictures all they want to, but I guarantee you, y'all wouldn't have said shit to me back then. Moving forward, you need to become proficient, and if you know one, you need to cross-train. Cross-training another discipline. Just because you know Taekwondo, go learn Shotokan. Learn the art of hard hand strikes to go along with the Korean art of kicking. You need to have a balanced approach to training because you won't always be able to punch or you won't always be able to kick. Sometimes you may need to punch and sometimes you may need to grapple or even use a weapon, which is why I finished out with Kung Fu. A martial mind. A man who's powerful in his mind can become powerful other places. But if you're powerful in your body and you're weak in your mind, you're about to be somebody's slave. Gentlemen, power, mental. You need to train yourself, become proficient in something. One of the biggest problems today is you guys are too spread out. You want to do everything tomorrow. I want to be a hunter, a fisher, a hiker, a motorcycle rider, a daredevil. No, focus on something and become exceptionally good at that. But that requires the 3 P's. It requires power, purpose, and patience. We talk about purpose all the time. But guess what? You really should not be on your purpose until you're really in your mid-30s or 40s. It takes patience. It takes failing at a lot of things and trying to become powerful at several things. Guys, purpose, patience. It takes patience to become an expert at anything. And far too many guys today, you want it quick. You want it easy. That's why this whole high value man. This is why so many guys want to change the definition of high value man to remove the money component. You can't remove the money component from high value. I don't care what you say. High value is always will start with a money component. That is the way the world has defined it. You may want to change the definition to fit it, but I never hear a man who's making the money want to change the definition. I've never heard of a man who's actually making the money target want to change the definition. That does not mean that if you're not a high value man, you're worthless. You guys know my stance on that. But we got to let things be what it is, because there needs to be a reward for going to law school and going to medical school and sacrificing 10 years. There needs to be a reward in going to become a professional salesperson and invest hundreds, thousands of dollars in training. There needs to be a reward for the people who are willing to do the work. If everyone could get the outcome, it wouldn't be worth anything.
What's going on, people? This is going to be a sensitive subject, but we're not going to insult. This is not going to be a place where guys are going to get insulted, clowned. I really want to have this conversation. And let me set the groundwork. When the internet came of age with the advent of the smartphone changed the game. In the late 90s, early 2000s, we had access to the internet. It was just an extension of how human beings interacted and communicated. But with the smartphone, the entire game changed. So now people actually have a mobile computer at their fingertips. And one of the biggest things that happened was attention for women and men. Men and women used to have to actually, singles had to actually go out to places to interact. Married people would do married things, but single people had the entire dating economy. Movies, dinner, plays, clubs, nightclubs. There was an entire industry dedicated to singles. But as Match.com, Plenty of Fish, okay, you name it, as people started trying to become more efficient and meet people here, what happens? The average woman is able to go onto these platforms and get hundreds of guys from, regardless if she's interested in that, attention. The dating environment has completely changed as far as attention. Shout out to Alan Roger Curry. Frat Brother talked about Mode 1. He has been talking about no free attention back in the early 90s. But now today, women have access to more free attention than human beings are equipped to deal with. As such, it has become increasingly more difficult for guys who are not alpha males or alpha males with beta traits, shout out to Alan Roger Curry, to actually go out and meet a woman, approach a woman, talk to her, seduce her, romance her, and actually end up having sex and pursuing a romantic relationship. I'll tell you right now, I have never had a problem with getting women, getting the kind of woman I want, getting access to the woman I want. I believe that I can actually talk to most women. That's the kind of confidence I have. I believe that most women find me attractive. That has been my lived experience. And even the women who I might not be their particular thing, I still know that better than 80% of the women out there are going to be interested. That puts me in this category over here. But I also have friends and colleagues that are right there in the middle. And even more so, that are extremely unsuccessful. My college best friend His name was D. D was a good-looking dude, smart engineer. On paper, he had things going for him, but he was socially awkward. There was nothing about this dude that said smooth, cool, charismatic. So the only way he could end up having sex was pity sex. He'd end up having to look, a woman just basically take pity on him and give him some, or he'd have to resort to prostitutes. This was in the late 80s and 90s. And the reality is this: for today, there are men hiding in plain sight. You might be one of them, who are gainfully employed, average to above average looks. On paper, solid, decent citizen. And 60 years ago, these guys would have likely been married. But today, these guys are entering into their 30s, 40s, and approaching their 50s as functioning virgins, meaning the last sexual experience or the only sexual experience they had was back in high school or college. Why? Because high school and college is the last time where men and women are in the same place, same environment, talking about the same things, and they could be beta males and just happen to be in a situation to where you're playing video games or you end up at somebody's dorm room or something, and then you just luck up into sex. These guys never were able to make it happen. It was always the women initiating or basically taking pity on them and giving you some mercy coochie. What happens when these guys are no longer in college or on the dorms? They go out into the world, move into a neighborhood. It's work, home, work, home. There's nowhere to go meet women. There's no way to go sit next to somebody and be the beta male nice guy and then have a woman take, because women got too many options. So here's what we have. We have beta males. We have men who are 40 years old who've had less than 3 sexual partners in their entire lives. Yeah, 40 years old, fewer than 3 sexual partners. Fewer than 3 sexual experiences. 1 to 2 partners, maybe. I know this is going to be, I need you guys to understand, if you are like me, a guy who never had problems with women, I didn't know these guys even existed in these numbers. I mean, I knew my homeboy growing up, but I just thought he was a little strange. All the guys I used to hang around, we could get women. But today, what impact does being, and this is why I want to make the broadcast, women are not the enemy. See, what I'm also starting to see is younger guys in their early 20s seeing the difficulty men in their 30s, 40s, 50s, and beyond are having, listening to all this content and getting angry with women. Worrying about, I don't want to get with a woman because of family court and child support, da, 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 da. And I ask you, when was the last time you actually approached a woman? Because here's the reality. In corporate America, entry level and lower level supervisory, there is a cap to how high an unmarried man will likely ascend. Beyond entry level or lower supervisory roles, middle management, upper management, executive management, people are married at that level at a rate of about 90%. If you want to move up, you are going to have to get married. You can have 10 divorces. It does not matter. But in order to move up, you must be married. It is an unwritten rule, but it is there and it's firm. Men who are unmarried are looked at as unstable. Human beings have evolved to not trust unattached men. And if you think, well, this movement, that movement, all these things are going to change corporate policies, you are sorely mistaken. Jeff Bezos will remarry. And the reality is this. For the rank and file guy, alpha males, pure alpha males with alpha tendencies are about 5% of all men. 5%. Alan Roger Curry, alpha male strategies. Alan Roger Curry was born an alpha male strategies, became an alpha male. I believe you can I know you can move through these rankings, but 5% are alpha males and want to live life as an alpha male. That means 95% of men want a woman, whether short-term, long-term. 95% of men have evolved to want women. We got to start there. Unmarried professional men are less likely to be promoted to middle class, or middle management, or upper management. Many men today are living life as beta males with beta male traits. Most men who are incels today don't want to be incels. I coach and work with men who are incels, involuntarily celibate. What that means is, I know there's a term incel. Incels usually are synonymous with virgins. But there's an incel who's had sex, but it's been 1 or 2 times and it was decades ago. What do you do with a late 30s or 40-year-old man who hasn't had sex in 20 years? That guy does not want to be that. Yet he cannot go out and talk to a woman, strike up a conversation, and romance her, seduce her. He has not learned how to be that smooth operator. So that's how these guys end up going year after year after year after year with no woman. I know this is hard for some guys to believe. Trust me, I didn't understand it, but they exist. And they're not weirdos. They're not crazy. What's happening is the environment has changed. Women have access to more attention. They got access to more guys. And these guys are not the best salespeople. They're just not smooth like that. And if you're just not smooth like that, and if you combine that with not going out and combine that with being average or below average looks, how you got too many struggles going on. How you gonna make that happen? If guys like myself, guys like Alpha Male Strategies getting flaked on, what luck do these guys have? And so my goal is to let's talk about it, because there is hope for you guys. But you got to understand where you're at. Today, it's more common for the typical woman to be more sexually experienced, more sexually aggressive, and more dominant. If and when guys like this end up having sex, it's a woman making it happen. I want you to think about the kind of guy I'm talking about. How does a beta male with low sexual charisma move up in the world? How does he get promoted? How do other people feel about him in ways that they won't describe? You didn't know they existed either. Well, see, the thing is, women really can't understand this, because women, you have a vagina. Someone will use it. I am talking about men who I've seen face to face, who I know are solid dudes, who are suffering in silence because they want nothing more. They just want one woman. They just want access to one. And I feel sorry for these guys because the longer this goes on,
and I am an incel. I wonder why my success rate as a salesperson is greatly affected, or the fact I can't relate to other married men.
let's talk about it, David, because the reality is this: the longer this goes on, these guys are going to reach late middle age, and they're going to be ripe to be taken advantage of. Kevin Samuels has been married twice, and if I wanted to, I could be married by the end of the year. See, that's the thing. I'm not against getting married. I'm not. I just know one thing: knowing what I know now, I pick better. See, that's the difference. Why are middle management and upper management guys? Why don't they have the problems a lot of the guys in the manospheres have? They know all the same things. It's because they understand the value of being married. If you want to be taken seriously as a man, an older man, you have to be married. There's nothing worse than being an old playboy trying to move up in the company. It's pathetic. And the reality for me is if I wanted to be married, I could be married by wintertime. For full stop. I could go out there in the world and find a feminine, beautiful, inspirational woman to get on my program and who would love to be my wife. I know that. Now, if I know I could go find a wife, I want you to think about the difference between the confidence and the self-esteem that I have versus a guy who can't even get a date. Talking about men who cannot approach a woman to get a date. 3 strikes and out, you're married. See, that's another thing. I'm going to say about black men. Only black men look at marriage this way. Black men look at marriage as a failure. Your president has been divorced 4 times. They don't sweat it. I don't look at the way Black America looks at stuff. No, look in Hollywood. How many times do you see people? Tom Likas married 4 times. You look at people. I know guys who have been married 5 times, and they're looking for their next wife. Again, what do they know that you don't know? And instead of worrying about what could happen, what the reality is this.
What about those of us that require diversity? I found marriage and one woman to be incredibly boring. I might remarry when older, but I'm only 32.
There you go. You're 32. What's going to happen when you're 50? How much pussy do you need, man? I mean, call in, because here's what needs to happen. I can guarantee you this. Most of you guys will never get to my numbers as far as sexual partners. I've had sex with hundreds of women, hundreds. And I'm talking about guys who have a problem having sex with one. In one semester in college, I had sex with 38 women. 38 in one semester. And I still lost the contest. The guy who won the contest had 45. And it was a known contest. We wanted to see who could get laid the most in one semester. Me, Chris, Ali, and Drew. All the guys. Mike topped us out with 45. Ali came in with 42. I came in with 38. Considering that I was a transfer and I'd only been in the area for 3 months, I think I did pretty damn well. Have you had sex with 38 women in one semester? And understand something. I don't deal with ugly women. I've never slept with a fat chick, an ugly chick. I got standards. I've never messed around with a vampire. Any woman I've ever been with could run up on me in public and start screaming and hollering, and you'd be like, ooh, yeah, never. So I don't understand this. Every guy's slept with a mud duck. No, he ain't. I don't have to. I wish Alan was here.
Against marriage and monogamy.
I wish Alan was here. She straight up. I come from the days where Kappa's pretty boys, we got the best. I got the best of the best. And y'all can have the rest. The best of the black women, I was able to sleep with whatever white woman, I can get what I want. And to this point right now, I'm attractive. Women of all races find me attractive. I mean, that's not a race. I've dealt with women who are like, normally I'm not into black guys, but you, yeah, I mean, so I'm different. While I may not be in the 5% that's pure alpha males, I'm certainly alpha with beta traits. But that's only about 10 to 15% of guys. I need you guys who are beta males to understand something. You can evolve from being completely beta with beta traits. You can become beta with alpha traits. Or you want to put enough work into it, you can become an alpha with beta traits. But beta with beta traits, you're doomed. Your life is going to be transactional sex, sex with prostitutes at best. You are never going to have a emotionally profound, emotionally significant relationship with a beautiful woman. And that's how it's always been for beta males with beta traits. Shout out to Alan Roger Curry. What do you guys think? When we back in the days when we were hunter-gatherers or an agrarian society, everyone didn't get a wife. Everyone didn't get a mate. Beta males couldn't get wives and kids because you couldn't protect them. He said, I stopped counting when I hit 50 women. Let me tell you, man, look, and there was a time where there was a badge of honor, but I would say that there's a certain level of confidence, there's a certain kind of confidence that comes with knowing you can seduce a woman. If you follow me on Instagram, you've seen it. So you got to be romantic sometimes. You got to be, so understand something. If you are unmarried, single, if you fall in the incel category, you have to get out of the incel category. If nothing else, for your, what I find is most incel, the guys that fall in this category, suffer from some form of depression. There's depression, anxiety. They're not happy. They're just simply not happy. Single, unattached, these single men are not happy. They're living life on numb.
No disrespect to anybody, and I'm going to speak from my standpoint, the way I move, the way I have always moved in my life. You can't cheat the game, fam. You can't cheat the game. You can't cheat the game. The game will not allow you to cheat. Either you play the game to win or you die. The Game of Thrones, I talk about it. You can't cheat the game. What's cheating the game? Well, let me start off this way. When I talk about image is the cheat code to the game. Shout out Linda Anderson. When I talk about image is the cheat code to the game, understand something. Image is the cheat code to the game. It's not cheating the game. See, when you use your image, you just hacking the game, but you're still in the damn game. You can't get around the game. You can't get over the game. You only can go through the game. And the game is going to exact the cost. I'm still going to try to keep this pretty PG. The game is going to cost you something. The game is going to cost you something. You can't cheat it. You can't think you got some magical way of getting around it, because if you cheat in the game, you cheating yourself. See, that's what a lot of you cats don't understand. You out here looking for shortcuts. You out here looking for fucking steroids. You out here looking for synthahol injections. You out here looking for, you might as well do like women and go buy some weave and get you some chest implants and some pec implants and go pick up somebody else's ATM receipt. That's the kind of shit a lot of you guys are on. You come onto these channels on my channel and to a lot of other channels trying to find ways to freaking cheat because you don't want to get up and do the damn work. Let's talk about it. If you watch my channel, you know image is 4 parts. Only one part is the damn clothes you wear. That's the first part. That's the first 7 seconds. After that, the behavior and the way you move, your mindset. And that's where I say you can't cheat the game. You can't cheat the game. You can't roll up on a chick like Shelly Sterling and really holler at her. It don't matter if you looking good in your body, if you on point. You can be a good looking lame. You can be a good looking square dude. You can be a fly Pookie and Ray Ray. And guess what? When you in the game, when you face to face with another man or another woman, you're gonna get exposed. You're gonna get exposed for what you are. You ain't done the work. That's why I am extremely competitive. I've always been light in the ass. I ain't never been no super big buff dude. Well, I actually was once upon a time, but I had to work at it. I was never going to be the physically intimidating, dominating dude. I knew that. So I didn't try to go out and walk around and stuff my shirt and do all this other shit. I just made myself the baddest, lean, skinny motherfucker around. That's why I went and learned Taekwondo, Shotokan, and Shaolin Kung Fu. Because I knew I'm not going to ever be the dude that's going to physically intimidate you. My voice ain't deep, James Earl Jones deep. So I knew that if I wanted to have to deal with these cats in the neighborhood and around, that I'm going, when it's time to actually put up, I'm going to have to bring it. When somebody try me, I'm going to have to try them. Yeah, I'm going off because I am tired of you guys trying to fucking cheat. You're going to have to do the self-improvement work. You're going to have to do the self-improvement work. Look, you could be a naturally pretty motherfucker. You can. You can be a pretty dude. You can be a handsome dude. You can be a naturally suave dude. If your mouthpiece is off, if your mind ain't right, if your hygiene is messed up, if you're an asshole, you ain't gonna win. I've been taking I'm gonna leave this up about 24 hours because sometimes, guys, you just got to get real. You got to get ultimately real because some of you guys ain't hearing it. You can't cheat the game. You can't have 2 pennies in your pocket and expect to ball outrageous. I made that post talking about if you're single and no kids and not working at least 60 hours a week, you're lazy. Guess what? You're lazy. I don't want to hear any of this bullshit about quality of life and life is to be lived. Yeah, to be lived for average. You can live that average C life, that D life, but stop thinking you should have 8s, 9s, and 10s and be eating steak and lobster and riding good, flying good, living good. You don't want to put the work in, then don't expect the outcome. See, this is going to be a little too real for a lot of people because it's like you want to hear feel-good stuff all the time. But I would be remiss if I would not be a quality teacher if I just let you feel good all the time. See, when you go learn Kung Fu, when you go learn martial arts in this country, here's what they do. You come into the school, you see the discipline, you see all that other stuff. And you come in, you sign your contract, you're like, this is a good place, and this is a good place for me and my kids to learn all that kind of stuff. You go into the first level of class, hit the damn super chat button. I'm dropping game. Show some love because this is the kind of stuff that has to be sold, and I'm telling it to you right now. But understand something. You come into these classes with no belt, and you go in there and you learn stretching and this and fundamental this and that, and you go for 1, 2, 3 months. You go take your first belt test. 4, 5, 6 months, take your second belt test. By the end of the year, you up to a green belt. You like, oh man, cool. You really know something. Nah, sucker. You know just enough to get yourself killed. You know just enough to be dangerous. Then you go from Kung Fu 1 to Kung Fu 2, from beginner to intermediate. And then they close that door and the game switches. All of a sudden that nice instructor up there is calling you all kind of punks and sissies and quiet and looking at you telling you you're weak because he doesn't have to play with you no more. You're in the game. And he can get real with you and let you realize, guess what, dude? All the stuff you think you know, because you know how to throw a back fist and a kick, you know just enough to get your ass killed. And if you walk out here with this halfway-ass kung fu game, halfway-ass game, you're going to roll up into a situation thinking you can do something and get yourself knocked the fuck out. You're going to get hurt. And that's what a lot of you guys are trying to do. You're trying to cheat the game. Come onto my channel. Come on to other people's channel. Steal a little information. Steal a little knowledge. Not pay your damn way. Not show no love on the channel. Not be a patron. Not super chat one time. And then try to get all this good information and good game. And then you're going to take it out into the world and try to use that damn gumbo and think you got something? Oh, man, KFC fit over fashion. Oh, man, okay. So what, you going to go paper? I tell you to go take your shit to the tailor. What are you going to do? You're going to go get the little ironing shit and then put your own hem in your own pants. You're going to go get your own pins and try to pin your shit up. See, guys who cheat the game, when I was growing up, they wouldn't go buy the polo shirt. They go buy a Hanes t-shirt and sew the damn polo on it. You know if you got the heart of a cheater. And this is going to offend some of you. But some of you guys got the heart of a cheater. You got the spirit of a cheater. Your heart pump Kool-Aid. You want the shit easy. You want it easy. I don't give a damn what your IQ says. I don't give a damn where you at. You want the game easy. You don't respect the game, and the game is going to fuck you up. Because when you get out here and dealing with real ones, when you're dealing with real ones, and the real ones come in all shapes and fashions. See, you used to dealing with real ones that look like you, but real ones that don't look like you are the ones that are going to jack you up because you ain't ready. You ain't ready because you step into that ring and know what you know. You step into that ring and say, I'm a black belt, I'm a MMA. Kimbo Slice took his ass to the MMA. He was a badass street fighter, right? He was knocking niggas out in Miami. He was doing all this other shit. Took his ass to the MMA and got wiped because he did not respect the game. He didn't have any cardiovascular. He could not grapple. He could not strike. All he could do was punch. And he got knocked out by Glass Joe. A lot of you guys out there don't want to work. You running around here, oh, man, I can just cheat it. You know, I ain't got to, you know, man, I borrowed my man's car. You faking, you fronting. That's what you're doing. And when you fake and you front, you die. You fake and you front and you die because you know good and damn well you can't do it. You know good and damn well you can't do it. That's why you need to mark your competition. You need to point out who your competition is. You need to say, that's my competition. You're only as good as your competition. If you're competing with lame niggas, you lame. If you compete with square dudes, you square. You can compete with knuckleheads, you're a knucklehead. You need to put your competition up here. When I came out into corporate America, my competition was the CEOs. My competition was the guys who were flying first class and making moves. My competition was not the guy next to me, my manager. My competition were the guys who moved in an area I never moved in. And you know what? I had to go learn it. What's a Republican and a Democrat? What's conservative versus? I had to go learn it. While everybody else was out there just taking their base salary and doing what they did, I was in there learning the game because my competition was up there. And when I got my chance to step in the ring with them, personally or professionally, I held my own. I got knocked out sometimes too, but goddamn it, I was in the fight. You know damn well if you in the fight or not. That's why a lot of guys walk around here with this diminished life. You don't want to go holler at a super bad chick when you see her, because you know you ain't done the work. Let's just be real. You know you ain't done the work. You see a bad bitch walk by, you like, damn. Oh man, You know, damn, if you ain't moving to go do something about it, you know you just died. Like shit. Opportunities happen and I ain't ready. If you in this game, you're gonna go holler at her. Opportunity comes along in business. Oh man, you know that's the white man ain't gonna let me have it. You ain't done the work. That's why I said you can't cheat this game. The game is gonna cost you. You can either pay the cost up front or you can pay the cost every day in your diminished results. You can pay the cost up front or you can pay the cost long term. I want the guys who want to pay the cost up front, who want to get in and do the work and understand, you know what? If I'm going to take this shit to the next level, my best thinking has got me right here. I need something better. I need somebody who know more. Hit the damn like button. I need somebody who know better. I'm going to have to buy my consult. I'm going to have to get some time with this dude. I'm going to do it. You 1-2 dudes, You nickel and dime dudes, you penny ante dudes, you got a penny ante mindset, and you want the best in life. Please stop lying. Just say it. I'm not willing to do the work. I'm not willing to make the sacrifice. I'm not willing to make the investment. I just want to get by and feel good. Guess what? You can do that, fam, and that's completely fine. But stop getting in these comment sections. Stop high-side and signifying, oh, man, this is a dope game. Oh, man, I'm going to schedule this. Oh, man, I'm going to do this. Man, oh, man, I'm going to book that with you. Man, you don't got to do all that. Just sit back and watch the content. But you do all that because you want somebody to see you. Oh, man, he typed real good. He types a mean game. But what is it out in the world? You can't cheat this game. You need to mark your competition, and you got to love the taste of your own blood. You got to learn how to compete. If you ain't never been knocked out, you ain't fought. Let me tell you this again. If you ain't never been knocked out, you ain't fought for nothing. If you ain't never been fired, if you ain't never been embarrassed, you ain't never been humiliated, you ain't been knocked the fuck out, you ain't fought nobody. You ain't done nothing. And that just means your heart's pumping that Kool-Aid because you ain't stepped it up. You still doing the same shit you were doing in elementary or junior high or high school at 40 years old. Why? Because you don't want to lose. No, you don't want to lose, but you're losing every damn day. Don't nobody got to tell you when you're 5'10" and 250 pounds, you're obese. Get your ass in the gym. Oh, man, the white man's measuring standards and body mass index and all that. Nick, when you get your sloppy wet ass out of the shower and you see yourself in the mirror and you see them titties and you see them stretch marks and all this other stuff, you know damn well I wouldn't fuck me. Then why would you expect her to fuck you? Oh man, well let me go ahead and I'm a teddy bear. I'm thick. I'm big bone. No, you lazy and sloppy. See, you like to come on my channel and act like I'm trying to tell you you need to play a game. You need to buy some clothes and front. No, ain't no fronting over here. Ain't nothing sweet about what's going on over here. Just because I look cool and got my glasses on, believe me, I'm about that game. Man to man, I can step anywhere with anybody and I will get respect. In my goddamn purse strapped across my chest, in my high heel goddamn boots, in my perfume, but fuck with me. Guarantee, anytime I will go man up with anybody. Let's go in here and see who can pull the baddest. Let's see who can go in here and get the most contacts. Let's see who can go in here and actually hustle up. Can you do it everywhere you go? Can you go into the hood club or can you go into the country club? I can go everywhere. Why can't I go everywhere? Because I've done the damn work. I've done the effort. I put it in. And that's where confidence comes from. You see dudes who get on here with outstanding confidence like AMS and those dudes, it's because he's done the damn work. It ain't just shit talking. A lot of you guys have only learned how to talk shit. Talk shit and lie. Go into the barbershop. You hear some of the best shit talking, some of the best roasting, some of the best lying, but you can look at how they are moving, and if you're really in this game and at that level, you know what's real and what's fake. You ain't got to call it out, but real recognize real. My question is this: when you gonna get tired of lying? When you gonna get tired of trying to cheat? When you gonna want to do the work? What has to happen? What has to happen for you to decide? You know what? I'm on that bullshit. I'm on that bullshit. I'm really not. I'm not really about this. I'm not out. I'm not doing it like I need to. And I can't get to the next level. I need to go ahead and take a step out. I need to take some time off and get my game up. The game is going to have its money. The game is going to get paid. The game is going to get paid. You're going to pay the cost. You can either pay the cost up front or you can live the cost every day. But you can't cheat the game. The game is what you got in here and in here. And if you're gonna get triggered, you're gonna get sensitive, you can find me up in the comment section all you want to. Guess what? I still do what I do. And the dudes who think like I do get their results too. I wasn't born with any of this. I had to learn it just like everybody else. I had to get out and do the work. I had to put in the effort. I had to sacrifice. I had to stay up, work, invest, all that shit. And if I had to do it, and everybody else I know who's getting the guy to do it, I'm a guarantee you, almost 8 billion people on this planet, thousands of years of recorded history. If somebody had figured out a way to cheat the game and get around it, you would know about it. You can't cheat it. So you might as well stop trying. I'm going to say this and I'm going to end it. Some of you suckers put more energy into trying to figure out how to cheat the game than to pay the game. You put more energy in trying to figure out how not to do the shit than do it the right way. Pay the game. Learn the game. Get in the game. And what you're really saying is, I know I ain't about it. I ain't willing to do it. So let me just go ahead and make myself feel like I'm doing something. If you're surrounded by cats like that in your life, get them out. Get them out, get them out, get them out. You don't need anybody around you who's going to tell you, man, the game can be cheated. You can actually get through this without having to do it. Man, you ain't got to do it that way. You got to do it this way. Again, look at their life and ask yourself, do you want their life or do they have something better for you? Bottom line is this. You can't cheat the game. The game will be paid. The price will be paid. What kind of results do you want to have? I want you to have the best results, period. I want you to have the best you can. I want you to have the best you can get. But you're going to pay for that shit. Till next time, peace.
I did a broadcast the other day about being in a room with powerful men and beautiful women. And I didn't disclose the location because I'm just not going to tell everybody about where I go in my life. But you know, going to this cocktail party after going to this event, and I said that there were no black men in the room. There were no black men in the room. There were black women. There were many people in there the room was full of professional folks. And I will take that back. There was 2 black men there. They were working the event. And you know something that I've noticed, that from the first time I actually put on a tuxedo and went to a corporate event, I worked for this company in Houston. It was in the Woodlands. I was working as a research technician, catalyst technician. Actually helped put together a patent for removing sulfur from catalysts. Put it this way, I'm a smart dude. The pilot plant I worked at, the research that I did, revolutionized surfactant technology. All you need to know is I ain't no dumb dude. So I'm at this event for this small research company that was multi-million-dollar company, international company. And I go and I remember being a young 20-something-year-old black man. And I walk into this room with nothing but older white people. There was one Hispanic-ish guy there, and he was an engineer that worked at the lab I worked at. So the people that worked at the lab knew me, but the people from headquarters, they didn't necessarily know me. They may have known of me, but they didn't necessarily know me. And I will never forget, I'm in this event, and it's black tie. I'm in my tuxedo, looking like $1 million. Black James Bond up in this motherfucker. And obviously, everybody that attended brought their wife, or their husband, or their +1. I actually rode solo to the event. And as I'm sitting there talking to the CEO of the company about the research that I had done that was leading to groundbreaking innovations that led to patents and millions of dollars for this company. I actually had an older white woman come up and ask me for a glass of champagne. Now, she didn't ask me where the champagne was. She asked me for a glass of champagne. Some of you may be like, well, what's the problem? Some of you guys may be like, well, what's the problem with that? She asked me for a glass of champagne because she thought I worked there. She thought I was just like she thought I was one of the helpers there, one of the servants there, because the only black men that were there, the only black men that were there were actually the servers. Dang. Yep, that's what it was. That's the only black men that were there. Now, funny thing is, when I went to the event, the black men that were there were kind of like, oh, what's up, bro? What's up? Okay, we see you. Okay. You know, how we give each other that head nod and shit like that. You know how we do that. You know, those brothers were kind of like, oh man, proud to see you up in this mug. What the hell? What is going on, man? All right, I got to get this fixed. The brothers that were there, they were kind of like, we see you. Like, we proud to see you up in here, man. You up in here doing your thing, because this was a big deal. I mean, this company had contractors like Exxon and Mobil. You know, huge multinational oil conglomerates were our clients. And little old bitty me, Kevin Samuels from Oklahoma, was in the room with all these high-powered corporate executives, all these folks, and they were asking me questions. I was the man. It was about me. And then I'm sorry guys, this is bothering me. In one instance, everything crystallized when this older white woman comes by and asks me for a glass of champagne, because black man in a tuxedo, you must be part of the help. Now understand, the tuxedos, the other black men that worked there weren't in tuxedos. I was the best dressed man in the room. But yeah. And the CEO was mortified because it was one of the vice president's wife that actually approached me. Yep, one of the vice president's wives approached me, asked me for the glass of champagne. And the CEO said, oh, this is Kevin Samuels. He works for us. You know, he's in the catalyst, he's in the research lab and blah, 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 blah. And this lady's face was just like, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. And, you know, but the fact of the matter is, I could have got pissed off. I could have went Malcolm X on her. Part of me wanted to, but you know what? The way I decided to handle it was even better. I asked her, I asked her, why would you ask me for a glass of champagne when the bar is over there? Why would you ask me for a glass of champagne when the bar is over there? The reason she asked me for a glass of champagne is because she didn't think I belonged there. There's no way I could belong there. There's no way I was supposed to be in this room in one of the richest suburbs in the United States of America. There's no way I was supposed to be in this room with engineers and financiers, you know, There's no way I'm supposed to be in this little bitty high dollar organization. My work proved that I belong there. My results, my outcomes proved that I belong there. But you know what had to actually also prove it? My mindset. I didn't get mad, I didn't get angry. I checked her in the appropriate way. And I remembered that. I'm not going to ever let anybody make me feel as though I don't belong. And that is what I see far too often with black men. We don't want to go to places, these upper echelon places, because you're afraid that you don't belong. There's a fear there that you don't belong, that some shit like that, some fuck shit's gonna happen. Well, let me tell you something. Your ancestors built this country. This country is what it is because of ADOS, because of the slave trade. We know the history of this country. There's not a place in this country where we don't belong. So I walk in everywhere like I belong. If I have the credentials, if I have what everybody else has, I'll have what everybody else has. Let me say that again. If I have what everybody else has, I'll have what everybody else is having. And that's what I want for you to start looking at yourself like you belong. I'm going to do a full broadcast on this because I'm actually take calls and questions, because what I see is so many black men who have the ability, the potential. But when even that broadcast I did the other day, I had some guy to get in the comment section talk about, young brother, don't ever think that, you go into these rooms and these people are going to look at you the same. I could give a fuck how these people look at me. I know how I look at myself. I don't accept that from that person. I don't accept it from that woman. I won't accept it from you either. Somebody else's prejudices and perceptions are not my problem. If I've done the work, and you know what it is, you often have to do 3 times the work to get half the credit. I want my credit. I want it now. I want it hot, I want it ready, I want it juicy, I want it on time, I want it the way I ordered it. I want my steak medium rare, I want my potato loaded, I want my asparagus crispy, I want my wine chilled. All this bougie shit that we feel like other people can have, but we gotta have the fucking leftovers and the chitlins of the world, fuck that. You get lobster too. And then you can still go eat a 2-piece and a biscuit. You belong there. So why aren't you there? Why aren't you there? Are you afraid that some guy who may not know you or may not think you belong there is going to do that to you? Fuck him. Don't give them the comfort of security of your absence. Don't make it easy for them. If they have those kind of limiting beliefs, put your black ass in a room and make them recognize your gangster. Do not self-segregate yourself to make somebody else feel comfortable. Take what's yours. Don't ask for it, take it. That is why I say men are confident, intelligent, assertive. But I really want you to get to the next point. Once you finally realize this is where your life and you get to make it, then you have to get competitive. And then you got to get aggressive. Yeah, you got to get in the fight. Because they ain't going to give it to you. Power is not given. It is taken. 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 You can't appeal to somebody's nature or whatever. You take it from them. What I tell you, fighting and fucking, what are you fighting for? Everything out here has somebody coming from another country to come get their piece of it. You were born here. There is no place here you can't go. So what's stopping you? I asked, what's stopping you from going to these rooms? What's stopping you from going to these cocktail parties? What's stopping you from going to the mayor's ball? What's stopping you from going to the art exhibit? What is stopping black men from going to places that are considered high class? Black women are there. It's your mindset. Ain't nobody stopping you but you. It ain't white people. It ain't the man. It ain't white supremacy. It's your black ass. You don't want to go and compete. You don't want to go get out of your comfort zone. You don't want to go learn how to move in these places. Yeah, you got to go in there and learn the lingo. You got to go learn the language. You got to go learn the mannerisms. You got to go learn everything else. Well, guess what? If you want what you say you want, that's what you're going to have to do. Look at, man, ain't nobody sweating what's going on in the black neighborhood, black community. They come take what they want from us and leave. Try to drop black business on the Arab side of town, on the Hispanic side of town, on the Asian side of town, in the white suburbs. You're not getting in there. But you can drop anything you want on the black side of town. Why? You let them. You let them. Learn from them. Look, man, they're not your enemy. You may want to paint them as your enemy. You know what's universal? Green. Money. You know why I belonged in that room? Because I was fucking good at what I did and I made the company money. And I never let myself believe it was anything other than that. I was there because I was profitable for them. And when it was time to pay me, I expected to be paid the most possible. I negotiated hard and I took no shorts. They didn't do me a goddamn favor to give me a job. They were lucky to have me. You belong anywhere here. You don't just have to stay at Oak Cliff or DeSoto or Acres Homes or Fifth Ward or wherever the black side of town is and doing black shit. It's all black shit. So that's one thing I would say, that the men who founded the fraternities back in the day, you look at Kappa Alpha Psi, Alpha Phi Alpha Phi Beta Sigma, and Omega Psi Phi. I know there's Iota, but you weren't founded until the 60s. You think about founding an organization in 1906, 1911, and 1913, I believe. The founders of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated, they were founding their own black fraternity while washing dishes in a white fraternity house. Oftentimes, they were the only black people on the yard. At Indiana University, they had to actually bring men from around because they had trouble getting 10 guys. Now it's hundreds of us, thousands of us, but we don't go to the same places they fought to get into. Why? Man, fuck them. I ain't selling out, man. How do I go to one of these kind of places and not have to kiss ass? The fuck? That's not the question, brother. How do I go to these places and not have to kiss ass? Man up. Kissing ass, you mean play the political game? Play the money game? It's the game. Why are you so worried about kissing ass? Because you're worried about what somebody who has less than you thinks about you. Man, hey man, Leon went over to that old bougie ass place. Yeah, man, he in there kissing them white folks' ass and blah, blah, blah. Where's the person that is making these comments? Are they shoulder to shoulder with you going in there to take something? Or are they sitting on the corner? Look, man, at the end of the day, the only person stopping us is us. The only person stopping you is you. We belong there. We belong there. We're entitled to it. And if you don't take it, someone else will. I'm going to tell you something else. American black men, African Americans, I can tell you this much. If you don't get your shit together, if you don't start taking your appearance more seriously, your image more seriously, your brand more seriously, if you don't stop playing with life, if you don't stop being a 31-year-old dude just consumed with pussy and not consumed with purpose, If you don't stop playing, acting like you're an overgrown goddamn teenager, that pussy is still new to you, and you ain't worried about nothing else but macking these hoes, guess what? They're coming over here from the continent. They're coming over here and getting it. I got no problem with them because you ain't there. Where you at? You mad? You get upset when you see a beautiful chocolate sister on a white boy's arm? Well, guess what? If she likes going to these places and doing these things, where are you? I know one thing. I can't wait to get to Atlanta and do MIT Atlanta there, because we're going to act like we belong. We're going to go where we belong, and we're going to get what we're going to get. Believe that. We're going to go, we are going to be on the 43rd floor overlooking Atlanta the first part of the morning. We're not going to be in a rundown, we're not going to be in a sugar shack somewhere. No, we're going to be in the boardroom. We're going to be in the boardroom, a very nice boardroom. Because we belong there. Then we're going to go have a very nice, a great lunch because we belong there. Then we're going to go get first class treatment at 2 other places because we belong there. Then we're going to go have dinner and dine like kings and get served like fucking princes because we belong there. Then we're going to go socialize like grown damn men, VIP, because we belong there. You know what? Why you belong there? Look in your goddamn wallet. You know why you belong there? Look at your resume. You know why you belong there? Look at the sweat off your brow. Now, what's in your mind? That's all we got to do. Put it in your mind that you belong there. Who's going to stop you? See, we got to dispense with this thing of that if I go over here and do stuff that's upper echelon, that I ain't still keeping it real and being black. Fuck that. I reject that wholeheartedly. Black men have always achieved. Whether we got the credit for it or not, we have. I reject the fact that there's only one way to be a real man. You got to be on the... No. It ain't always about the street. Life is war. You need to be a warrior scholar. So where are you going tonight? What are you doing? Are you just sitting at home? Are you sitting at home while you're letting every other man out here run wild and take everything? Where are you? Look, man, ain't nobody rushing to get into the clubs that serve shit in red cups. The little hood joint, the little juke joint, the only people there is us. Go over there and go take what is yours. Bring who you want, take what's yours. And then what you do with it's your business. I don't care if you run over to the suburbs, play golf, go to the cocktail parties, go to the cigar lounge, go to the American Heart Association events, do all this upper echelon stuff and take it right back to the hood. Knock yourself out. I don't dick watch or pocket watch. I want you to get it. Guess what? Black women want you to get it too. I was talking to, I'm not going to say the person's name, but I was reminding them of a video that a sister here did on YouTube. Talked about how she was married to a white guy and how she was feminine, beautiful, inspirational, just a model, traditional wife. Feminine, submissive, and all these other kind of things. And I remarked that in this video, she had a revelation that says, you know what? Everything I did for that guy, I could have done it for a black man. I could have done that. I could have done it. An open admission, I could have done all this. And then my children would have had a father and mother that looked like her. And it was the first time I'd heard a woman actually admit the truth that we know. But what the kind of things she likes doing, there weren't a lot of black men out there. Black men. If black women like going to the ballet, opera, art, I have more black women hit me up saying, thank you for doing what you're doing. I want a CIA black man, but I cannot find a black man out here who likes to do anything. I can't find him. It's not that I don't want to be this. It's just the things I like to do. I don't want to just do Netflix and chill. I want to go here. I want to do that stuff. But so many black men today make me as a black woman feel bad for wanting better. So either I go with a non-black man or I go without. Women aren't our enemy, man. You know me. You know my views, but you have. A lot of us should be ashamed of ourselves today. They don't even have to beat us anymore. Because you quit before you even get in the ring. You're not getting in the ring like Jack Johnson and fighting for the heavyweight trophy. You just saying, fuck it, I'm not gonna box. It's easy to beat men who don't show up. So that's the tact on this channel. I demand excellence in performance. You will perform. So will I. We're gonna get there together, but there will be no bullshit over here. No, we can't do it because this. We can't do it because that. We can't hit this channel. And if this ain't the way you flow, do yourself a favor and leave, because you're not gonna be happy, because I'm going to push you to be a better version of yourself, to not just be here, to go out there and do something. Appreciate it, RJ. That brother right there, multi-six-figure brother. You black women should be lining up in Arkansas to try to find that man. Move your ass to Arkansas. Get in this goddamn inbox. That brother he's made the money. He's got the security. And all he wants is a feminine, inspirational, beautiful, submissive woman who will allow him to take care of her. And what does he want in return? Your cooperation and some sons. You want to keep going to the cocktail parties by yourself? Black men, understand something. Where you want to be, what you want to get to. I don't think anybody listening to this has had a water hose turned on them, dogs sicked on them. The shit that our fathers, our grandfathers, and our great-grandfathers and all those people had to go through. We got to do better. So let me be said. I'm tell you right now, you get in the comment section, you got some slick, stupid shit to say, I'm going to invite you to the block button. I can do my part to help you look in place Look the part. I can help you look like you fit in these places. You've already done the work. Do the last piece of work here. We're going to have to talk. We're going to talk. But after the talk, then we must act. Because ain't nobody stopping you but you. In every city, in every state, in every city, there is opportunity there. People died to get into this country. We have no excuse. None. None that I will accept, and none that you should accept either. Stop playing with life, gentlemen, because it ain't playing with you. So next time, talk to you later.
Every other group of men has to fight for power. You have to fight for power amongst them. Well, how are we going to fight on both sides? We got to fight our women and the world? Yes. Now what? What you want me to tell you? No. Cry me a river. Fuck you. There's no crying in baseball. Oh, man, that's fucked up. Man, the Monahan Report and the Civil Rights Movement, yep, you right. You know me, I'm on your side, but I ain't never been nobody to tell me to get to the back of the bus. I've never really feared a lynching. I mean, come on, man. I am the number one advocate, but I'm more of an advocate for men taking power. And the first thing you must master is yourself. If you cannot master you can call yourself a high value man, an alpha male, a select guy. You can call yourself Rumpelstiltskin, is all I care. But you can't lead nobody if they don't choose to follow you. You can pound your chest and say you alpha, 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 alpha. But if they're not following you, what are you going to do? Sign language them? Oh, you should follow me because I'm an alpha. Look at how strong I am. Look at how deep my voice is. Look at my beard. Look at my tattoos. Look at this. Look at that. No. Alphas don't have to walk around saying I'm alpha. Grandfather with a 4th grade education. You've all heard this before. If you got to say I'm a man in my own house, you've already lost. If you got to go ahead and tell people you're an alpha, what? Power. 3 male archetypes. And I'm going to open up the call lines. 3 male archetypes. And this is where I'm about to really go in the black male community. Stop being stupid. 3 male archetypes: refined, rakish, and rogue. Refined, I fall into the refined category. Much more of a sophisticated gentleman. Martinis, that kind of stuff. Don Draper, Mad Men, that's a refined kind of style personality. Rakish, think of Johnny Depp. Think of actually Tony Stark in Iron Man. Robert Downey's Tony Stark. He's much more of the rake. And then the rogue. The rogue, think Han Solo, Harrison Ford. Much more of a swashbuckling personality, refined, rakish, and rogue. I've talked about this. And the more direct translation to the black community will be the pretty boy, the bad boy, and the roughneck. The pretty boy, the bad boy, and the roughneck. The problem is, in our community, we have made it to where only one only one personality is considered to be above all the others. We've made it to where the rogue, the roughneck. We made it to where the roughneck is the only thing we'll accept. Because see, the bad boy can still have a suit on. The rogue doesn't wear a suit. We've made it to where we have a one-dimensional masculinity in the black community. This is why people continue to call a man like myself gay. When in every other community, I'm just called a producer. The concept of calling a man gay because he actually cares about his appearance, is learned, and does the work day in and day out, we minimize it because you've been told that the only masculinity in that's valid is the roughneck. And this is, I'm going to say in Generation X, this is where we dropped the ball. We seeded the ground to gangster rap and hip hop. We went to college and X-Clan and Public Enemy were in. And we seeded the ground to this gangster rap hip hop, the thugification of Black America, to where you got to be street or hood to be a man. Except that don't run no business. That doesn't run any businesses. The rogues of any group doesn't build like the bad boy, the pretty boy. The rogue of any group does not build like the refined and the rake. Now, why is every other group, they don't fight between those three? But in our group, it's constant infighting because we got this only one can be right. Some people call it the Highlander or the Jesus thing. All I'm saying, and if you as a black man cannot get over this bullshit, or if you're not alpha unless you're a roughneck, get out of here. Get out of here. Because one of the main things we do with ourselves is we limit ourselves by our own image. Just Google search black man. Just Google search black man. See what pops up. Then Google search white man. Google search Chinese man, Mexican man, Pakistani man. Just Google and see what images pop up. Now the funny thing is, back in the 50s and 60s, we embraced all three. We had the rogue, the rake, and the refined. We had the pretty boy, the bad boy, and the roughneck. We had all of those. But when you allow somebody to take away things and we define ourselves by one thing, they are limiting your power options. That means you can only one run play. And all they got to do is shut that play down. The NFL used to be a running league for the longest until people start learning how to pass and run and then throw passes to backs coming to running backs that are coming out of the backfield. Now the NFL, we went from a running league to the West Coast offense changed the game. So gentlemen, I don't care if 80% of us are born out of wedlock. I don't care about institutionalized this or whatever. Every group has its challenges. Prejudice is a human condition. Some sort of ism is a human condition. The trick is to make yourself powerful enough to where it doesn't affect you. In this country, it starts first you get the money, then you get the power, then you get the women. And I've already said it in this country, but for us, it has to start here and here. I mean, I know what I'm talking about. Maybe it still is all the women, and I can hear it already. It don't matter what we do, the women are still gonna be out of control, and okay. But I would tell you this way: I would rather be on this side fighting that battle than broke. I'd rather be on this side fighting that battle than in a position of powerlessness. I would rather be on this side and on a trying something different instead of just throwing your hands up and saying, well, it's bigger than me. It's bigger than all of us. Everything that's ever been done has been bigger than any one man. Let's get to it. In order to talk to me, you must be on camera. Whether you're on Zoom or whether you're side by side on the interview, you must be on camera. You must have your background noise cut off. One person at a time. And like anything else, you cannot overtalk me. What do you disagree about? Let's talk about the problem. Hello?
How you doing?
How old are you?
23.
What's the disagreement?
I don't really have a disagreement. Only disagreement I would have is that I feel like
Okay.
you give men, that last caller, I feel like you give men like that a platform. That would be my only disagreement.
I give him a what?
No, that would be my only disagreement. I feel like you give that last caller, I feel like you give men like that a platform, or you make them more comfortable to say the things that they say. That's my only disagreement.
Okay. I don't give anybody a platform. I can't control what people say. You got to listen to hear what people have to say. What do y'all think I am? What do y'all think this is? You don't know what somebody's going to say until they say it. Hello?
Good evening, Mr. Samuels. Can you hear me?
Yeah, how old are you?
I am 22 years old.
What's the disagreement?
My disagreement is more of a counterpoint towards your image shifting. I believe it was ruggish, refined. What was the third one? Forgive me. It was ruggish, refined, and
The three keystones of the three foundational images, they exist. What's
yeah.
the disagreement?
In terms of image shifting, how can we, how can Black men that are more towards the refined or the less majority, how can they be in these positions for a relationship? I know I'm thinking a little bit too early, but in terms of people that
okay. Either you fit into one of these categories more or less one way. What's the disagreement? That the categories exist?
No. The disagreement is mostly how can people, Black men that are more into the minority categories be seen more since
okay,
like
young man, that's not a disagreement. A disagreement is you said this tastes good and I think it doesn't. This is not a disagreement. Thank you. Guys, come on now. I got too many people on here. And y'all are just trying to get on and talk. I'm about to boot everybody and start all over again because I'm really trying to handle this as much as possible. But you guys often ask me, why don't I talk to men? Because I tend to get an overload of guys and you're not sticking to the topic. So we're going to go over here. And the first thing we're going to do is starting from the top. Gene, unmute yourself. Hello? How old are you? What is your disagreement at 19 years old? I didn't say you have to be. I didn't say you have to be. I said it's a suggestion. You can do whatever you want to. Okay, I didn't say you have to be. I just said it's a suggestion. Okay, you can do whatever you want to. You got to be able to take care of the responsibility of it, though. That's the point. All right. All right. We got too many folks here. Bounce out, please. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. This room is far too full. I'm going to load this over here. Yeah, this is why I said you do better trying to get in on the eCam call, because I can see who's over here. Everyone has their hand raised. Let's see. Hello, Christopher.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good. How old are you?
I am 34.
All right. What's your disagreement?
It's simply this. Do you somehow think that maybe indirectly that you might be kind of, I understand, like you're the main kind of face for high value and everything like that, but indirectly you might be kind of pushing down the average man on the
Nope.
pole?
Nope.
Because like with your popularity and the
Nope.
more you,
Nope. I didn't make it. I don't make people want what they want. How can one man have all this power? You think that me telling women, where do you think the term high value came from? I didn't originate it. It is a weak man who has to fight all the time. We often get power confused. Meekness is strength under control. Stop letting people manipulate language to make you run out in the world like a crash test dummy. I'm powerful. I'm an alpha male. I got to do something, carry your ass right on to one themselves. Power, purpose, patience. See, let me translate this into women. Many of the times, the problems that we have with women, let me make it personal, that I had with women is when I took my eye off of power. I got comfortable. I had enough of a lead, and I stopped thinking about power. That didn't make me lazy. It's just I took my eye off of it. And had I been raised by the kind of men that I wish I had been raised by, they would have told me, no, man, this is the time you put your foot on the gas and really go. You don't slow down. Yes, you take a break. You get you a Monte Cristo #2 torpedo. You get you a McAllen 25. You get you a nice 12-ounce filet with the bone in, medium rare with kosher salt on the side, a little asparagus, a crab cake. You do these things. And then you get your ass back in and start scrapping again. You don't sit back and order the steak and then the lobster, then the crab, then this, then that, and you keep eating and eating and eating and eating, because eventually the bill's gonna come. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, ladies, we also gonna talk about a topic next week. This buy now, worry later. See, oftentimes when we take our eyes off of power, our mouths write a check that our ass can't cash. See, what the real issue was is the next steps in power, I lacked the skill sets. Meaning I was a good individual contributor. I was a hell of an individual player, but I lacked the ability to effectively network and play well with others. Hello, all black men. I'm coming for you. I'm coming for us right now. Yeah, hell yeah. We're great individual scorers. Oh shit, we'll playground basketball it up, but have us try to run a play well with the group. Excuse me? What? Oh no, you just want everybody to give you the ball and you want you to clear out, let me do what I do. No. See, anytime you're on top or you're winning and you decide to slow down, there's usually because there's something coming ahead that you don't want to deal with. There's a curve coming up and your car does well straight, but you don't know how to corner. You can't drift. You can't do something. Well, the way I used to think back then, I'll wait. I figured out I'll analysis paralysis instead of speed into the corner. Learn. Figure out, and one of the best things, one of my best friends, and he'll tell you, one of the best things I ever learned is to admit I don't know shit. One of the best things I ever learned through therapy is to admit I don't know a damn thing. You're good at this. I don't know how to do it. Teach me. Best practices, and trying and failing. See, a powerful man understands it's a long-term game. And it's not, you don't worry about failing in front of people who don't necessarily matter to your end-term success. Yeah, you fall. People are going to laugh. Think about when I was a young boy and I played the cornet. 4th grade cornet, it was hell on my family and my neighbors. I sounded horrible. But when I went from cornet to second chair, third chair cornet, second chair cornet, first chair cornet, then I graduated to trumpet, but I had to go back to third chair trumpet instead of first chair cornet. Yeah. Second chair trumpet, first chair trumpet, drum major, jazz band. There was a time about 6 years later, where my neighbors would come outside, pour a glass of wine, smoke their cigarettes, and wait to hear me play Dizzy Gillespie, Miles Davis, Herb Alpert. Just something. You have to have the patience to go through the pain. So a lot of us don't want to deal with the pain because we didn't learn how to deal with pain. This is where daddy not being there fucks up so many of us, because we got all this testosterone and we don't know how to deal with pain in a masculine way. So we end up bitching out. We end up dealing with pain in a feminine way because we was raised by our mamas. There's no shot at the mothers. But mothers cannot raise sons effectively to deal with male emotions. Emotions and testosterone are fucking dangerous. I was talking to a friend of mine who's a psychiatrist, and I was like, anyway. Pain. Pain has a purpose. But incorrectly channeled through the feminine emotions in a masculine frame leads to chaos and destruction. Because all it takes is that one bad decision, one wrong move, one wrong step, and you can have life-altering choices. This is why training is so important. Discipline is so important. Power is not a boy's game. It's a man's pursuit. Power in all things. Power at all times. The game of power is something that men worldwide approve. We understand, and black men in particular, this is what we must start doing. Our women are in power. Understand something. Power only accedes to a demand. You want power? Power must be taken. It's not given. Our first thing in our community is we can talk about the bonnets and the slippers and all this other stuff until we actually are working together and take the power position in our own community. No other race of men has to take us seriously. So yeah, while we sit around and talk about Big Shirley and all this other stuff. Yeah. One way to actually combat this stuff is become the group of men we need to be And we determine what's acceptable for them, and then they have a choice. If they want to be on our plan, if they want to be on the winning team, they want to be where this is. They gotta decide to do what? Drop the weight, check the attitude, put the bonnet up, all the stuff we've been asking. Get power. Then you can start making demands. I don't expect black women to give us anything. They shouldn't. We have to take it. Because if we can't, every other group of men has to fight for power. You have to fight for power amongst them. Well, how are we going to fight on both sides? We got to fight our women and the world? Yes. Now what? What you want me to tell you? No. Cry me a river. Fuck you. There's no crying in baseball. Oh, man, that's fucked up. Man, the Monahan report and the civil rights movement, yep, you right. You know me, I'm on your side, but I ain't never been nobody to tell me to get to the back of the bus. I've never really feared a lynching. I mean, come on, man. I am the number one advocate, but I'm more of an advocate for men taking power. And the first thing you must master is yourself. If you cannot master you can call yourself a high value man, an alpha male, a select guy. You can call yourself Rumpelstiltskin, is all I care. But you can't lead nobody if they don't choose to follow you. You can pound your chest and say you alpha, 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 alpha. But if they're not following you, what are you going to do? Sign language them? Oh, you should follow me because I'm an alpha. Look at how strong I am. Look at how deep my voice is. Look at my beard. Look at my tattoos. Look at this. Look at that. No. Alphas don't have to walk around saying I'm alpha. Grandfather with a 4th grade education. You've all heard this before. If you got to say I'm a man in my own house, you've already lost. If you got to go ahead and tell people you're an alpha, what? Power. I appreciate everybody showing up, but that's what we got to do. Until the next time, we got to do what we got to do. Peace. We're gone. Shout out to the FBI. Link for the self-awareness assessment will be down in the description. Be watching for the video releasing. I'm a PhD. Nothing can stop me. I'm addicted to what you and I realize. Lead the way. I follow. You know what? I am a strong, independent woman.
I rebuke
to all the callers. Let's get it going, fellas. Lace them up. Time to get in the game. I will say this. Black women are not our enemy. Peace out. We're gone.